What's going on, my fishing friends? Thank you for tuning back in for another episode. So today is going to be really random. I don't really have a specific topic that we're going to be talking about. I really don't have a super great game plan for this video, but I think we're just going to call this fishing chat, because we're going to go to one of my local lakes down here. I've got the pond prowler hooked up, got my chest mount, and let's just fish and chat and see where this takes us. Maybe we can get on a few decent ones, and maybe I'll think of some good stuff to talk about. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. We're on our way to the lake now, so I will see you there. Switched it up, I used to do a spinnerbait a lot when we did this, but we also used to do rattle traps or, lipless crankbaits. Me and my buddy, we used to do square bills as well. We'd put on a fire tiger, a little bomber. I think it was a bomber square bill. And what we would do, because we're just fun fishing. Now, I don't recommend this for tournaments unless your specific tournament club says it's okay. But we used to troll. So in between spots, or if we were heading to a certain spot, we would just take that spinnerbait or crankbait or whatever, toss it behind the boat, and then get straightened out here, and then slow down a little bit as we were heading to our spot. And typically I would let a little bit of line out just so it can get a little farther down in the water column, get a little farther away from the boat. But we used to do this a lot. Used to do this a lot. And used to catch a lot of fish. We used to catch a lot of bass doing this. But yeah. My favorite is a spinnerbait. I like trolling a spinnerbait, but you can, like I said, you can troll a bunch of different baits. You can even troll with soft plastics, paddle tail swim baits, ribbon tail worms, speed worms. You might just have to go a little bit slower with those, or depending on what kind of bait you're using, go a little slower. But anyway, I'm gonna put the camera on my other mount so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I usually like the fun of trying to figure out where they're at, going and targeting structure, things like that. But I will say this, trolling for bass is really fun. We used to have a lot of fun doing it, and it is effective. And there's really nothing special to it. There's no special skills you have to do this, especially if you're just fun fishing. But you just throw your bait out, and every now and then you might hit the bottom and have to, pop it off some grass or whatever. See right there, I just had a bite and I wasn't even paying attention. But yeah. So there's no special skills. You just throw your bait out, let your trolling motor do the work. And we used to do this in between spots. And it was a good way to pick off a few fish without wasting any time, using your time wisely while you were on the water. Because most of the time, if you're anything like me, you have to work. So the evenings, they don't really last as long as you want them to. So making every single bit of time on the water count was pretty important. And just enjoying time outdoors. So every chance you could give yourself to catch a good fish, or just to catch a fish, period, was necessary. And I will say this, I have caught a lot of pretty good size fish trolling. Because I don't do it that much, and I haven't done it that much, you know, other than when I was younger and we used to come down here for fun. I have caught some 6-7 pound fish just trolling, whether it was a crankbait, you know, or a spinner bait, or just trolling a big 10-inch ribbon tail worm, something like that. I have caught some really, really nice fish doing that. And I'm sure I probably, if I did it a lot more, see, there's a fish right there. Let me turn my trolling motor off. Feels like a decent one too. Hopefully you're getting this. Oh, he's not bad. He's a little guy. Definitely not a bad one though. Man, he's pulling hard. This fish is strong. Yeah, he's a little guy, but very, very strong fish. But as you can see, trolling that spinnerbait is very, very effective. And like I said, very, very fun. He hit it like a ton of bricks too. But there you go. So, well, shoot, trolling is working. They might be on a spinnerbait bite today. We'll see. But anyway, as Jimmy Houston used to do, see you later, baby. But there you go. It just goes to show that you don't have to use any special technique. You don't have to have a lot of skill to go catch a bass. And I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but anyway. Well, since I had that bite, I'm going to cast out and troll a little bit more while we're talking. So anyway, but it's a blast, man. I always think of, you know, people that take the outdoors, take, you know, our freedom we have here in America for granted. We have freedom to come out here and fish. And a lot of people don't take time to do it. They don't take time to enjoy God's creation out here. And it's really a wonderful part of life that we have. You know, I struggle just as bad as the next person with stress and money. Money is a big problem, you know, for a lot of people. And I know I don't have it that bad off compared to people. You know, I think I do sometimes, but I don't have it that bad off compared to a lot of people. But it's stressful. Life is stressful, going to work and trying to pay your bills. But I'm trying to get people to understand, coming out here, this is therapy. Fishing is pure therapy. And a lot of people, you almost can't get it through their skull. But it is a blast to come out here and enjoy the resources that we have. That's why fishing is so anything outdoors, hunting, fishing, those freedoms are very, very important to keep. We want to keep those freedoms. Because any of these freedoms with, you know, government and everything else, they could get taken away. They could. Every freedom we have could get taken away like that. But we are fortunate enough here in the United States to have these freedoms. Now we got to pay for it. You know, you got to buy your fishing license and make sure your boat's registered, make sure all that jazz. But dang it, man, it sure is fun. Wow, I have not been out on this side of this lake in a while, and it looks way different than what it used to. There used to be a big line of grass right in here, and it is not here anymore. That's crazy. It still looks beautiful though. It was probably the last hurricane we had come through that did it in. But there's actually a new little island of reeds over here that has never been there before. So that's very interesting. Very interesting. And I'm going to cast this spinnerbait around a little more and see what happens. But it's kind of calm over here. Usually for a spinnerbait bite, for me anyway, I know a lot of people would say different. And I have caught fish all the time with a spinnerbait. I mean, I've caught it in a lot of... See, there we go. There's one right there. But, oh, that's a better fish. A little bit better fish here, guys. A little bit better fish. Come here. Look at that. On the good old Strike King spinnerbait. But I actually wasn't expecting a spinnerbait bite, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. Nice fish. But yeah, hey, let me get this fish measured. I'm going to submit him to the free angler app tournament. And I will be right back with you guys. That's 2 fish on a spinnerbait. And what's the old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm gonna fish this spinnerbait around a little more. And what I'm doing is I'm just slow rolling. I'm not ripping it. I'm not doing anything super special. But it's just a 1/2 ounce willow leaf Strike King spinnerbait. And shout out to Strike King. They make one of the best spinnerbaits in the world, I think. I've caught so many fish on these Strike King spinnerbaits. It's not even funny. Particularly this design. It's got a little tandem Colorado and then willow leaf. And I guess it's just like a shad pattern with a little bit of red on it. But this bait is phenomenal. I've caught so many fish on this bait that it's hard to give it up. I can't say anything bad about it. They're tough. They hold up for a long time. I mean, I could probably catch 150 fish on this one spinnerbait. Of course, most of the time I lose them before I get a chance to catch that many fish on them with snags or whatever. But yeah, they're a great bait. So Strike King. I fish in the Bass Lunkers Club down here in Central Florida, and I love your spinnerbaits. I've bought a lot of them, so if you're listening, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. But anyway, back to fishing. So what I'm doing is I'm casting towards this little island of reeds. It's a little isolated patch of reeds out here, and I don't know how deep we are. My guess is we're probably 8 to 10 foot just from what I know about this lake. But let me turn on the graph so we can find out and I can give you exact depths. Let it load. There we go. Yep, I was spot on. So it's 10.7 feet, which my transducer is on my trolling motor, so it's actually around 12 feet right here with how far I have the trolling motor in the water. So let's I'm gonna move a little bit closer to this island. I mean, I'm seeing some fish through here, but move a little closer. Looks like I need to cast down through here. And what I'll do when I'm fishing this spinnerbait is just, I mean, it's really simple. Always just start simple and do a nice steady retrieve. You do want to feel that willow leaf blade kind of vibrating. You could feel the vibration of it. But I'll slow roll it, and sometimes, you know, I'll give it a little pop like that. I'll just pop it. And a lot of times that'll, you know, trigger a reaction strike. But a spinnerbait is not a hard bait to fish. I hadn't planned on talking about spinnerbaits in this video, but apparently at least those two fish wanted me to talk about them for some reason. I don't care, I'll take it. Now this lake particular, the biggest bass I've ever caught out of this lake has been around 7.5 pounds. But I have known a lot of people that have caught 11-pound plus bass out of this lake, which is really good for the size of the lake. It's not a big lake at all. I mean, me and my dad, we used to come out in his 12-foot John boat, and we would just troll around the edge and, you know, beat the bank. And there was some day, you know, we had more time. There were some days we would circle the lake twice or, you know, 3 times. So, oops. But yeah, not a big lake at all, but it does hold a lot of bass and is known to hold some really, really good fish. I've caught a few of them. And in case anybody's curious, what I'm using is the same spinnerbait rod or setup that I normally have. It's the Cast King Sharky 3, which I'm not even sure if they make this anymore. But this is a great reel, guys. If you're a budget angler, this Sharky 3 is a phenomenal reel. I think we pay, I think it was $40, $37, $40, something like that. A really, really great value, because I mean, I've been fishing with this reel for 2 whole tournament seasons plus some, and it's been a tank, man. This thing is has caught a lot of fish. And then the rod is a arc catalyzer. You know how much I love the arc catalyzer. It's the 7-foot medium heavy fast. Oh, I just had a little bump, something ticked it. But medium heavy fast, and this makes a great spinnerbait rod. Not too long, not too short, and it's got a really, really good stout backbone to it, but has some nice flex in the tip, which works great for a spinnerbait, chatterbait, rattle trap, anything like that, lipless crankbait, whatever you want to call it. And but my favorite bait to have on this rod is a spinnerbait. It just works really, really, really well. I'm seeing some movement up closer to the reeds up there, so I'm going to move up closer to there. I'm going to put you on the chest mount. All right, hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to get us a little bit closer up here. That last fish that I caught came out of about, let me see, where was he at? He was right in here, so about, I don't know, 8-10 foot, somewhere in there. But let's see if there's any up closer here. But that was the little island I was talking about, or the little patch of reeds. And excuse me if I seem a little awkward with this chest mount. I'm getting used to the phone on the chest mount. It's different from what I'm used to using. So, and my phone's kind of big, so it's a little bit bulky, but one of these days I'll get me a GoPro. I don't really need the graph anymore. I'm going to turn that off. I say graph, it's just a depth finder, fish finder. It's the little Garmin Striker 4. Being that I am right here next to these reeds, I can't help but want to flip it and see if we can pull one out of there, because I am right on these reeds. In fact, let me back up just a little bit, get you guys out of the reeds. Come on, fall. That 5/8 weight don't want to quite fall down in there. Oh, and that's the beauty of a plastic boat. If it smacks the boat, it don't matter. There we go. I probably scared every fish in this little patch of reeds off, but I like to double check anyway. But the setup that I'm using right now is the Halo Rave 3. It's the 7 foot. Hold on. 7'2". I thought it was a 7'3". 7'2" heavy. This is the Cast King Mega Jaws, 9:1 gear ratio, 65-pound braid, and being that it's a little bit clearer water, I do have a fluorocarbon leader tied on. I don't know how necessary that is, but better safe than sorry. And with this, I don't have a long leader tied on. You can see it's about a foot long leader. Now there's plenty of stuff that I can throw up in that little pocket just to make sure there's no fish up in there. Excuse me, making a bunch of racket. But I think I'm gonna try the good old wacky rig. And see what happens. Now this setup here is a Cast King Zephyr. This is the Finesse. It's got the real shallow spool on it. So 90% of the time I'm using this for skipping docks, stuff like that. And the rod is a Bull Bay, which, shout out to Bull Bay. They make some really, really nice rods. This is a Bull Bay. This is a 610 medium, moderate fast action. And a great little rod, nice and light. Like I said, this setup works really, really good for skipping. You can see how short the handle is, but just skipping real light baits under docks or something like that works really well. But it also casts really well. So I will use it to cast around a little wacky rig or something like that. Or even if I'm just, you know, fishing a fluke or a Senko weightless, I'll do that as well. Right now I have it on a 16th ounce weedless wacky. There's a fish. I just got a bump. As soon as I take the chest mount off. Oh, he didn't keep it. He felt so small. Let's see if we can get him again. He dang sure gave it a little thump though. Okay. Ooh. Disclaimer. If you get into bass fishing and you decide you want to use a bait caster for the rest of your life, you will backlash every now and then. I don't care how good you are with a bait caster, how long you use one. I've been using one since I was 11 years old. You will backlash with a bait caster. But the benefits outweigh the faults. I will say that. Okay. Well, I'll throw this wacky rig up against these reeds. See what happens. My goal this year is to lose a little bit of weight so y'all don't have to look at this so much. But another little worthless fact about this lake. This is the lake where I knew I had hit the age where I had allergies, if that makes any sense. So I had never had any allergies to anything at all my whole life. And I hit about probably 25 years old, something like that. And I had never been allergic to orange blossoms, you know, that I could remember. And me and my dad were fishing back here. In fact, it was on this side. And the orange blossoms on the back side of the lake had bloomed. And immediately, as soon as we got to this side of the lake, my nose stopped up. My eyes got all watery. I couldn't hardly breathe. And I'm like, man, what the heck? And the same thing happened to my dad. We're like, what the heck's going on here? And we're trying to figure out what happened. And as soon as we got away from this side of the lake where there was no more orange blossoms, my sinuses cleared up, his sinuses cleared up. Our eyes quit being so puffy. And then it made us realize, dang, it was the orange blossoms. And I had never had that happen to me. I thought that was crazy. I am seeing a lot of movement. Let me move out a little bit. And let's see what happens. I am going to take this life jacket off because I want to be comfortable while I'm fishing, and I know how to swim. There we go. But yeah, let's just go out a little ways and see if they're sitting on that little bit of a drop off into deeper water. Excuse me, let me put my trolling motor down a little more. There we go. And see if they're on that drop off out there. And maybe we can pick off a few more. Hey guys, they're out here on the drop off. Another little guy. But yeah, make all the racket you want, dude. There we go. Another little guy. But they are definitely out here in deeper water wanting to feed on a spinnerbait. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm no dummy. I think I'm gonna fish a spinnerbait in deeper water. Now I want his mama, so we'll see if we can get his mama to come out. Let's see what we can do. We got a little breeze picking up again. Hopefully it's not bringing in rain, but we got a little breeze coming in. So maybe that'll kick on a really good spinnerbait bite. The wind's kind of carrying me down this this section here, so I will let the wind do its thing. Oh, there's a real small bite. I don't know if he'll hold on to it. Sorry guys, I hit the foam. But we have a fish. Look at there, guys. Decent little fish. So not bad, not bad. And the hook popped right out, so I got him in just in time. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned a little something. I know I had a blast, so I appreciate you guys watching. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on the next one.